But there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today we're gonna do Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. This is such a cool song. It's a really weird recording in many ways, but it's got this really particular dark and captivating vibe. And it's really fun to play on piano. It's basically the same chord progression over and over again, but I'm gonna show you some different ways to play that chord progression to capture the energy of the different sections. Let's just dive in. Okay, so before we go any further, I recommend getting the chords and lyrics chart. I put a link down in the description. That'll help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words. And the song starts with this really high, ooh. You can sing that. It's up an octave higher than I can sing, or you could just play this high E up here, like a little more than an octave above middle C. So you hear that, and then stop. You can just skip that section. I might skip it. And then the chord progression begins. And this is the chord progression. And for this first part, we're going to play it with our left hand. The right hand's going to do the ooh under the chords, or I guess over it. So the left hand is going to play an E. That's going to be a E, a G sharp, and a B. Next, we've got a C sharp minor. We're going to come up here. And this is an inversion on a C sharp minor. We've got a G sharp, a C sharp, and an E. I'm using my second finger on the C sharp. Next, we've got a G sharp major. Notice that I can just keep my pinky where it is. And then we've got a G sharp, C. It says C natural because overall this song is in the key of E, where the C's are sharped, but this chord is stepping outside of that key signature. So we've got a natural, just white key C. That's why this chord sounds kind of surprising and pretty cool when it comes up, because it's not in the key. Anyway, then we just step up to an A major, typical root position A major chord. That's A, C sharp, and E. Now, we're in a nice slow 4/4 time, so we're counting 4 counts for every measure. And that means that since there's 2 chords crammed into each of these measures, each of those chords just gets 2 counts. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It does that twice while the right hand does. So just 2 notes. It's that high E again, but stepping down to that D sharp. The timing there is like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's on beat 2 after you've played that E chord, and then it steps down to that D sharp note as you hit the C sharp minor chord. So the intro is going to start with 2 times through this. Does it again. You can even kind of sing along if you want. Then we're going to get to the cool riff part with the. So I'm taking my left hand all the way down to this super low E, almost 2 octaves below middle C, and I'm just going to do the single bass notes on the note that the chords are named after. So E down here, all the way up to the C sharp, then to the G sharp, maybe with my third finger, and then step up to A. 4, and just holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just take a minute, get the hang of that, because the left hand's going to be doing this for a lot of the song. Now for the right hand riff, we're going to need to be thinking in eighth notes. So that's dividing the beat in half. So instead of just thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to play a note on every eighth note. I'm going to use my thumb and then my 4th finger here. I think you'll see why in a sec. But we're going to go back and forth between the E and G sharp a few times. E, G sharp, E, G sharp, E, G sharp, E, G sharp. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're going to do a similar thing, but it's going to be back and forth between the D sharp and that same G sharp. And here I think it works to just put your second finger here. So you're kind of making your second finger lower than your thumb, and you can just keep that fourth finger there. That way you don't have to like put your thumb on the black key, which can be a little awkward. So then this is for the second measure. It's 1 and 2 and then for the second half of that measure on beat 3, we're gonna hit the E, we're gonna hit it again and then go back and forth. And the back and forth is even quicker. It's actually 16th notes. You can probably just kind of hear it by ear. 3 E and a 4, da 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 da. Altogether that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. And then there's this distorted guitar doing that, and it's really kind of gnarly the way they play it, and it's not exactly the same every time. You might hear da 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 or da 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 da. I'll probably just hit that E twice at the end, da 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 da. But you can kind of play around with how it sounds there. Now we're gonna match that up with the left hand doing those bass notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so both times the bass note hits, it's on one of the E's. E, G sharp, E, G sharp. So that was back and forth twice. Then E, G sharp, E, G sharp. Same pacing here. Do, 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 do. And then this section is going to do that twice. With your feet in the air and your head on the ground. So then we are in the verse. And in a perfect world, we'd have 3 hands, so we could keep having that riff happen while we did the chords and the bass line. I'm going to do the chords for the verse. I think that supports the singing better, and it's kind of hard to sing and do that riff at the same time. But you could sing the verses over what we were just doing for the intro with that riff. Anyway, so we're going to start doing the chords with the right hand. It's going to be just like what we did with the left hand before. The only difference is for that E, rather than play it down here, I'm going to play it inverted up like that. So G sharp, second finger on B, and E. That way it's really smooth getting to this C sharp minor. All you got to do is change that B with the second finger to a C sharp with a third finger. Then we've got that G sharp and the A. So those are all voiced the same way. And I'm just gonna do quarter note chords with my right hand, so just playing on every count. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it, yeah. So it just does that 3 times through that progression. I might add a little bit more rhythm in the left hand, playing on some off beats, like in between the counts, like 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. That just gives it a little bit more energy. But that's all it is to it. Then we get to the chorus. The chorus starts out with 3 more times through that underlying progression, but we're gonna strip it way back to just the bass line, and we're gonna just pulse on 8th notes. It's a really minimal moment. It sounds cool. That's gonna be the where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? So just thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and after the first 2 times around and the 3 times through asking where is my mind, it goes around again just without any singing. And that time, just gonna lightly add the chords in the right hand while just holding them and continuing to pulse the 8th notes. And then we have this one final line of the chorus that the pacing is really similar, but the order of the chords is a little different. We've got E, then straight to the G sharp major, then it steps up to the A, and then A minor. So we're just gonna flat that C sharp down to that C natural. And when it hits this part, it's kind of just building way out. I'm gonna do just pulsing on 8th notes with both hands this time. Way out in the water, see it swimming. And then we've got this C sharp minor, but it just holds it. So same way we've been voicing it. And then one new chord, we've got a B. We're gonna do that B, D sharp, and F sharp. And I think on that B, I'm gonna pulse 8th notes as well. So I'm going to go, let me sing through that whole chorus, and you can hear how all those kind of parts fit together into kind of the second verse starting. So we've got, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. 2, 3, 4. I was swimming in the Caribbean. And then, yep, we're in the second verse. Same thing as the first verse, it's just the words are different. After that verse, there's another chorus, and it's just like the first chorus, but after the chorus, it goes into the solo section. Now, this is kind of the final new section to learn, and I would say it's super optional. So at the end of the chorus, it ended with that measure of B, just building up. And then the solo is just, it stays on B for 3 additional measures after that first one. And we can just kind of keep playing the B in the left hand, and it does this cool kind of minor pentatonic solo that's like... and then it goes into the final verse. So I say it's optional because it's a little tricky. It's fun to play, but this is the one thing that, like, it's hard to do justice to 2 gnarly distorted guitars in either ear on the recording when it's just you and piano. So you might want to skip it, but if you do it, like I said, it's fun to play. We've got F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp. So it does F sharp 4 times. The first 2 are a little slower. Da, 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 da. And then step down E, E, also fast, D, B. And that all happens within the first of the 3 solo measures of B. Now we've got another measure of B. In this measure, we've got D, E, F sharp. I'm going to kind of cross my thumb under A, B, D, E. So just kind of climbing up this minor pentatonic scale. By the way, this part sounds really cool because the underlying chord is a major chord, but the scale being used for the solo has that minor note. So it's really kind of bluesy sounding. It's a little bit tense. So again, this measure we've got D. So you hold the D a little longer and then kind of start climbing up those notes a little bit faster. And then finally, for the last measure of this solo of B, we've just got this F sharp, and you can play it as fast as you want. You could just hold it. It's 2 different guitars, and they're like just kind of hammering away at it. With your feet on the air and your head in the ground. So then it just goes straight into the verse. Let me just do that whole solo one more time coming out of the chorus right before it. Way out in the water, see it swimming. With your feet on the air and your head. So I was doing a little extra rhythm, kind of pulsing on 8th notes with the B. There's a lot of different ways you could feel it. So we've got that last chorus, then we've got the outro. Now the outro, it goes back to just stripped down with that cool riff. So after the last C, it's swimming. 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go to... And on the recording, it does this for quite a while. It goes around 6 full times of that. Then it goes around an additional partial time. It does, and it just does that first da-da on the G sharp, and then it just cuts out. It's really abrupt. And then the final thing you hear is... So it's kind of a weird, unsettling way that the song ends. I'm going to do it just like that, just to be kind of faithful to it. But I think for a solo piano version of the song, it might make more sense to just maybe only go around for 4 times on the, and then just end on an E chord, maybe a root position, E, G sharp, B, just so it kind of sounds a little bit more final and satisfying for your piano cover. But yeah, that's the end of the song. All right, thanks for sticking with me. I am now going to play a full cover of the song so you can see how all these parts we've just talked about fit together. If you like this video, you'll probably like some other of my tutorial videos, so hit the subscribe button, click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this, and have a look around my channel for other songs you might want to do. Feel free to leave a request, and yeah, this is my version of Where Is My Mind. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground, try this trick and spin it, yeah. Your head will collapse, but there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rock, except the little fish bumped into me. I swear he was trying to talk to me, koi koi. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground, try this trick and spin it, yeah. Your head will collapse, but there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way